Welcome back. This is Yomi Productions. Today we're going to be playing Dark Cloud, a PS2 game that is made available on the PlayStation Store. This is a game that I played quite a bit as a kid, and I really like this game. It's a it's a small adventure dungeon crawler game. The main loop is searching through dungeons, collecting uh, Atlas spheres, and then what's inside those spheres is parts of a village. And you go outside those dungeons and rebuild the villages. There's multiple throughout the game, and yeah, that's the main loop. Go into the dungeons, fight the monsters. You want to delve deeper into the dungeons. There's a boss at the end of every dungeon. Um, and yeah, you're just trying to get the pieces of the world back together. It's truly a perfectly fine setup. Um, so currently, we'll be looking at the setup of who the main villains are. Please enjoy. And that was our main villains, the military man out to for world domination using an ancient evil dark genie thing. Always, you know, thought the genie was. I think genies are a very cool villain to have, as long as you actually do something with them. But yeah, this Norun village, that is a friend of ours. I don't remember her name. Of course, us, Tone, who will be called Yomi, and then our mother sitting across from us. Gulp, gulp. I was never a fan of the hat, though. I always thought the hat was weird. Festival. But yeah, so like most of the stuff that you see here, like, is stuff that we will have to go and collect again. Like the people. I don't think we collect this pyre, but that's Macho Man. Love Macho Man. Funny enough, because I don't know if we'll end up getting it throughout the playthrough, but it's not how you hold the flute. Macho Man actually has his own sword. The cross guard is like a smushed version of his face, even more smushed than it already is. And then the outer parts of the cross guard that go out and come up are his flexing arms. There's a lot of cool weaponry in this game that I don't know if we'll actually see all of it. There's a character that uses a hammer, and the funniest weapon I can remember of him having is frozen tuna. He's a big frozen fish. You beat people with it. So yeah, I never liked this part as a kid, mainly because I don't know. I guess I never enjoyed the whole playful, massive power destruction aspect. But like I was a kid, so and as I've established in the Kingdom Hearts videos, uh, very much into the edgier characters. So the guy that was eavesdropping on the other ones, I liked him as a kid. Um, Even though I played this during a time that I was not a fan of Devil May Cry. Uh, Funny enough, I actually ended up trading away my copy of Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition to a friend of mine. Oh man, I don't even remember the grade. I think it was like second grade or something. I don't remember. Very young. Traded it away for Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. And yeah, no, it was such a great trade. Ironically enough, later in my life, DMC3 became my favorite game of all time. And yeah, but I traded it away because I couldn't get past the first Virgil fight. I was a very incompetent player as a kid. I'm better now, still not amazing or anything. Yeah, no, total garbage as a kid. Uh, I thought I was hot stuff. I was able to beat most games that we had at the house. I was a better gamer than all my family. I ended up getting a huge news flash one day. I think it was somewhere between 7th and 9th grade. A friend came over and we played 1v1s on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And yeah, no, that was a huge wake up call. He handily kicked my butt, and that's when I realized, just like, I'm playing these games, and somewhat competently. But I'm playing them all on easy mode, and there's a lot of times I'm struggling just to get it on easy mode. So after that, I decided, all right, let's try and actually, get decent at games. So one of the PS2 games that I finished more than any other, I think, was God of War 2. And so I started playing God of War 2 on normal and tried getting up to Titan, and ooh, Titan was difficult. It wasn't something that I was able to manage. But, I'm better now. I generally play on normal modes. I platinumed DMC3, so I've beaten it on every mode. I even beat Bloody Palace, even though technically I didn't beat Bloody Palace properly, because there's a way you can cheese Bloody Palace where you unlock Super Dante or Super Virgil if you're doing that side, but I did Dante's, where you have infinite Devil Trigger. And what ended up happening with that is he has a style called Quicksilver that he can unlock, and with that style, what that does is, in exchange for DT gauge, you slow down time around you. And so you're playing at normal speed, everything else is slowed down. So when you have infinite DT gauge, everything's constantly slow. And so that's how I finished the Bloody Palace. Just by slowing literally everything down. And yeah, so that's how I was able to keep, because those later floors, they have a lot of enemies. And it does get hard to keep track. Maybe one day I'll do it properly. Maybe. I'm not sure. I was never proficient enough for that. But maybe we'll attain it one day. So anyway, similarly to how I did with Kingdom Hearts, I want to speed up the gameplay, especially in the later portions of the game, where it's going to get somewhat repetitive because you are on a similar loop the entire time. There's a lot of floors in every dungeon. While I enjoy it, I don't imagine it being a too thrilling watching experience. Unless you just find it funny when I'm struggling and getting lost. But not lost in the sense of like lost direction, but like later I try, because the first floor offers a question mark section, which if you have the proper item, you can use it. In this case, it's a tram, and you take that tram to a secret dungeon that has items in it, but it also has stronger monsters. So yeah, I end up wandering around trying to get all that done. So I mentioned weapons earlier. Tone, who you're gonna want to always have alive. I'll get into that later. But the weapons he uses is daggers / swords. Like, that common weaponry right there. The prickly is used for fishing. It is bait. I don't remember if it has any other uses. But yeah, you mainly want him to keep him always alive. Once you unlock other characters, you can, I believe, anytime you're out of combat, or maybe in combat, but you can switch to other characters and play through the dungeon as them, right? And you can switch them while in the dungeon. However, if Tone ends up dying and you've not collected all the Atlas in that floor, while you can beat and progress past the floor without him, as long as you have other characters, you'll not be able to unlock any of the other Atlas without him being alive. So that is something that you want to keep in mind. So generally, I always made sure that he was the most overpowered. He was the one I used the most because I need him for the Atlas anyway. But again, you're gonna want to uh, have the foresight to make sure that the other characters are also very powerful. Just because there are going to be character-specific floors that you can only use them for, and since you can't use any other characters, there's not going to be any Atlas on that floor because tone isn't allowed. Yeah, I didn't use escape powders all that much as in my previous playthroughs. Which honestly, maybe I should. I don't know. Like, something I never understood is you can't use the get out if there's any monsters on the floor. At that point, why not just progress? I don't know. Generally, I'm not a fan of durability-based weaponry, but probably for nostalgia's sake, I look over it for this game. So while I don't like it, once you get yourself set up, it's not debilitating, I guess. I also have a bad habit in a lot of games that have default weapons, especially if those default weapons can level, is me wanting to have the default weapon be the weapon I use for the entire game. I've never managed it in this game, mainly because leveling up weapons that you essentially you get enough XP for the weapon. You can then put certain items into the weapon to increase certain stats and attributes. And yeah, no, I've never gotten the right setup for that. Macho, yeah, I'm trying. It's been so long since I played, I don't remember the proper way to counter or fight these things without getting hit. Oh, and for the longest time here, I could not. That's why I'm pausing a lot. Is I could not figure out what the button was to go to the menu. Like, I was struggling. But yeah, no. So the tram's over there. Water. So you have this thirst level that as you're wandering around the dungeon, it decreases, and once it's at 0, you start taking damage. That was a scary moment. And so what water pools do, as I'm sure you're able to tell, they heal you to full, and on top of that, they refill your thirst. Now this is very much a game that is based around equipment levels, but in the case of this game, it's just your weapons. You don't have armors. So your health does not change, your thirst does not change through just fighting and everything. Those only change through items that you acquire. I believe only in the overworld. I don't remember if you find any in dungeons, but I believe it's some Eden apple thing. Okay, so this is the level up section. So you go to customize, you can put things in, and I'm going through checking to see what all this changes. I had no idea what the MP does for him. I don't think it does, but whatever. See, you want endurance. Every hit you do decreases the durability, and having endurance is spectacular. Damage and durability are probably the biggest things you want. and you can switch attributes around. I don't have a good grasp of what enemies have what weaknesses, but yeah, you do want to pay attention to what attributes you have active. I know for the skeleton things, holy damage would be good, but I don't know anything else. I don't know if like ghosts are weak against holy or not. I'm not sure. Oh, what was I talking about? Oh, I believe they're like Eden apples. Those increase your health, I believe, by 10. Generally, you find them on the outskirts of someone's house. Generally, and yeah, so you usually find those in the villages. You may find some in dungeons. I don't quite remember. Yeah. So as you see, I have leveled up my weapon. However, if it breaks, as the guy showed earlier, he did enchant my dagger to not be destroyed if it broke. But it will become a broken dagger and lose all its levels. So even though this can't disappear when it's destroyed, there is still a heavy downside of losing all your resources that you put into it. The other weapons, they disappear, so of course you lose out on what you put into it. But this one, no, for sure. I don't remember all the processes of how I'm going to want to do everything for playing through these. But I do remember that for this first area, the mayor always gives you refills he gives you a bread, a water, and a repair powder. And he stops giving you those whenever you get access to the shop, which is I believe it's called Old Gaffer Shop. But as soon as you put that in the town, and the gaffer himself, the mayor stops giving you free stuff. There is trade-off. There is pseudo infinite supplies. There's only one of each. If you can make yourself last quite a long time with just that, you can save up a lot of money, I believe. And then when you do have the gaffer, you can get more stuff. Now the other downside is you lose access to a lot of other things, like having multiple of supplies you may need. And then on top of that, I believe he sells some gems or something that helps with leveling up your weapons. But I'm not sure. When I platinumed the game on the PS4, because I originally played it on PS2, when I played it for the platinum run, I didn't want to spend all the time like naturally doing everything. There is an exploit where you can get I believe fully synthesized daggers or something. I don't remember exactly how it works, but essentially you can synthesize weapons. I don't remember the exact requirements to do that, but you can synthesize weapons, and then those can be used to put into other weapons to increase a bunch of stats based on that weapon. I don't remember exactly how it works, but it's very potent. It is the quickest way per a level to increase a weapon's strength. And so essentially what you do is you just get a bunch of synthesized daggers and you just start putting them into weapons. Yeah, that's essentially what it boils down to. And it was regrettable, but it was also a way to save time because I already naturally beat the game on the PS2. I will be naturally beating this one because I want this to be a proper run. But this time I want to not focus so much on tone, because I've never done that before. On the platinum thing, I definitely focused on tone, just for like sheer speed of getting everything done. And yeah, that's because you rarely ever have to switch him, and it's just easier that way. Excuse me. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it naturally this time, and I want to put more of a focus on the other characters and get a good balance going on. Because it's always been tone, always. Even so, I still think he's my favorite character, my favorite moveset. There's a magic user later that I really like, but I don't know. I don't know how I want to do it. So that Georama analysis thing shows you like how much you have, how much you've collected, how much you've implemented, and then the request is they have requests like he does, and if you match those requests, that goes up in percentage. And when you reach 100%, you get a special thing, and that's true for every place. There is only one section in the game that requires you to get a request 100%, I believe. So it's optional up to like that specific one. But yeah, other than that, I'm starting to think that the request thing won't be done until his house is fully together. Because he said fighting, so there's that. But it could also be that his brother needs it as well. Anyway, this has been the first part of Dark Cloud, Into the Dungeons. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot. I would like to reach 10,000 subs by the end of the year. That'd be really cool. My main goal is to have this replace my day job so I can spend more time doing it and have more freedom. So, thank you, and see you next time.